Oh, it's finally happening. We're finally here. After all these months, after all these decades, after all these weeks, finally, Alex Pereira's back. I'm for sure going to get a copyright claim after that. Oh, wrong one. Oh, it's muted. It's muted. We messed up, Teupil. We messed up. Okay. There it is. All right, people, it's time to get back into some business because it's UFC 320 this weekend, and this is episode 269 of the Dynamite Gizmo Podcast. Never have I ever said my intro like that before, but because I got a little screwed up in the beginning, we have to do it this way. We're going to be talking all things, everything UFC 320 related. Things that are going on, things that are happening. We're going to talk about the fighters. We're going to talk about fights. We're going to do fight predictions at the very end of the episode. It's going to be jam-packed, full of jam and peanut butter. Just the way you like it. Because I know you don't care about the things that I say. It's about the things that I do. How stoked are you for this weekend? Are you super stoked, or are you only a little bit stoked? Because I can't freaking wait, dude. Are you even aware of the gold that we are cherished with? Are you even fucking aware? This is incredible. I love this card. We have a beautiful UFC smoothie to slurp. So bring your fucking straws, you maniacs. And make sure they're curly. We need curly straws. I don't want striped straws. I want curly straws. The whole main card is stacked. But most specifically, it's the top 3 fights of the night. Okay? Jiri Prochazka versus Khalil Rountree. Slap my ass and call me a donkey. Merab Dvalishvili versus Cory Sandhagen. Title match? Eat my pussy and call me Randy. And then to top it all off, the main event of the evening, Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira 2 title match. Smell my armpit and pluck my hairs for free, why don't you? I don't even know where to start. I have no idea. There's so much I could talk about. Where do I even begin? Oh, I know. Why don't I start with this, the fight prediction sheet? I've got hairs in my throat, so leave me alone. I create these sheets. Take a look at the screen. You see this sheet here? I create this. This is my creation. And it has changed and it has evolved over the past year and a half. It used to originally look like a regular fight layout. But now I've changed it up a bit. So why don't we take a look together, shall we? This is the brand new format of the fight prediction sheet. Let me get my face out of here. This is the fight. Look how nice this is. Okay, you've got the early prelims, you've got the prelims, and then you've got the main card. All right? Now, if we take a zoom in here, Let me zoom in some more, okay? See, it's got the order of the fight here. So this is the first fight of the night. You got the Vegas betting odds. You got their nicknames here. You got their actual name. You got the weight class, pictures of the fighters, and you have their fight record. You've got their rank, and you've got their country flag here. Now, the objective of this sheet is you go through each fight of the night before anything happens, and you check off these vote boxes for the fighter you want to vote for, okay? And after each fight is finished, you go to this side, the winner results side, and you check off who actually won, okay? And if your prediction was correct, you check off the star. And you do that for the early prelims, the prelims, and the main card, okay? And then at the end of the night, you tally up all your stars, and then you write your total down here in the bottom right-hand corner out of 14. And you see how well you did. Invite your friends over. Invite your family over. Have a big shindig. Print off 1,000 of these sheets and hand them out to your friends and family and say, let's have fun predicting fights tonight. Okay, these sheets are made easy and clean to use so that even people who don't even know about UFC can make predictions. Okay? Because like I said, you've got the Vegas betting odds. Okay, green means favorite, gray means underdog. You've got their fight record, you've got their rank, you've got their country of origin, the picture of them. Okay? What else more do you need? I mean, there could be more, but you're not going to fit all that on this sheet. All right? And I've even included little notes. There's a box here for notes. You can write notes in between each fight. If something goes on, you want to keep track of it. Okay? And on each strip, I've got little facts about the fights, about the main event, or whatever. Okay? I worked really hard on these sheets, and I make them available for free for every single UFC event, whether it's a main number card or whether it's a fight night. These sheets are available, and the link is in either the description of this video or in my bio, depending on how you're watching this right now. So I suggest you go, click that link. It'll take you to a Google Drive. There you can download it and print off as many as you want. Or you don't even have to print them off. Just keep it on your phone and use the phone to make check marks. Okay? Do it however you please. But I personally like to print them off, and I put it in a big binder. So at the end of tonight, at the end of this podcast, we will go through my fight predictions, and I will tell you who I'm picking for every fight and why I'm picking who I'm picking. Okay? But before we get into that, we're going to talk about UFC 320 and what's going on and what needs to be known. All right? I still don't have any new sound bites.
I don't think that's actually in some.
I still just have the old ones.
And, I don't like Eminem.
There was just an announcement today, like 20 minutes ago. Dana White came on Instagram Live, and he announced 2 fucking bangarang fights for Doha, Qatar. Like, really good. Main event. Belal Muhammad. Or no, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself here. The main event is finally Arman Tsarukyan versus Dan Hooker. Like, what? Are you kidding me? That is a crazy good fight. Finally, we get Arman Tsarukyan back. Okay, they pushed him to the side all the way to the end of the year. That's what you get. That's what you get for missing weight on one of the biggest fights in the history of UFC. You were headlining a title fight, the first fight of the year, against Islam Makhachev, and you fucked it up, dude. And this is what you get. You don't fight for the whole year, and now you're coming back and you're fighting Dan Hooker, but doesn't matter. It's a great fight. That is the headline of UFC Qatar in November 22nd. But the co-main is Belal Muhammad versus Ian Garry. And if Ian Garry wins against Belal Muhammad, then guess what? Ian Gary is going for the title. That's just the way it is. So in the meantime, we have Islam Makhachev versus JDM. We already know that's happening, okay? So I think they're trying to push Ian Gary ahead of Sean Brady. I don't think Sean Brady is going to get the title shot first. It's going to be Ian Gary, which is fine. I like Ian Gary, but I like Sean Brady too. But we're not talking about that. That's way too far in the future. We're supposed to be talking about UFC 320. So let's get into it. How many of you watching, listening, smelling, tasting right now know who Cory Sandhagen is? Come on, raise your hand if you know who Cory Sandhagen is. I know some of you listening right now are thinking, who the hell is Cory Sandhagen? And why is he getting a title shot? Well, let me tell you, Cory's a good man. He's a damn good fighter, but to the casual fan, he might have slipped under the radar because he's not quite a household name, at least not yet. All right, a little while back, Merab beat O'Malley for the second time. I don't know if you remember. And Cory was actually backstage, and he bumped into Merab while Merab was taking photos with the belt. Now, obviously, at that moment, neither of them knew they'd be matched up, but you could see it in their faces. They both knew it made sense. It was the matchup that was coming sooner or later. Oh, I got to go back.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Nice job. I'm happy for you. Yeah,
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I really like your jokes.
Okay, good.
Aljo,
yeah, we're gonna. Oh yeah,
Aljo
we're
was
gonna have a
talking,
good one. Oh yeah.
Like Aljo said, he's getting funny, and I keep doing it, bro.
Okay.
Very good. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, we're gonna have a social media battle.
Yeah, Aljo. He's the most deserving guy in the division. And you respect. I mean, I respect you. And then, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I'm gonna just take a little vacation. Okay.
Okay, cool. Me too. I'm gonna go on a run though. Right now. See you, Merab. Nice job, dude. I'm happy for you. Yeah, peace.
So that was before it was announced, obviously, because Merab had just won against Sean O'Malley. Okay? But you saw there, Merab said, I know you're the most deserving guy. You should be the next in line. But that doesn't mean anything. But it turns out that was actually the case. And not long after that moment, after Merab had beaten Sean O'Malley, and after that moment specifically, Cory got a call. And it was a call from Hunter Campbell, and in that moment where Hunter Campbell called Cory Sandhagen, it was caught on camera. He was filming something else, and at that moment, Hunter interrupted his filming. And we got to witness it live. I have it here.
Oh shit! Look, Hunter Campbell's calling me.
You've always stepped up for me, man, and told you what if I saw an opening to do it where I think it makes sense, I was gonna fucking jump on it.
Hey, let's go. I appreciate you. I'll be ready for then, and then yeah, I'll plan October 4th in Vegas. Let's fucking go. Thank you, dude. Fuck yeah. Thank you, Hunter.
You got it, Cory.
Bye.
Let's fucking
Let's go, boy!
Let's fucking go.
Woohoo!
Oh shit.
Woo,
Yes!
Isn't that nice? That's so
Yes!
good. Look how good this feels.
Oh,
Huh? Could you imagine? Could you imagine that feeling of getting that call? I love moments like this. Once in a lifetime achievements captured on camera. After sacrificing everything, years of grinding, barely scraping by, chasing a dream that might not even happen. Then all of a sudden, there it is. The call you're waiting for, it shows up right there as you're filming a video. We got to witness it. We got to witness it live. And we saw Gamrot. Gamrot had his moment. I mean, he's not fighting for the title, but he finally got his fight against Charles Oliveira, and that was caught on camera as well. I don't know what's going on, but lately a lot of those life-changing calls have been getting caught on camera. And it never gets old. Keep it coming. And we're probably going to see more. Now, about this matchup itself. Merab versus Cory Sandhagen. When it comes to cardio, Merab's on another level. And this is no secret. He has an unlimited gas tank. We know this. And maybe you don't, but you do now. He can shoot takedown after takedown after takedown after takedown after takedown without slowing down. That's his entire game. Pressure, nonstop. He doesn't need to be flashy. It's the volume. The relentless fucking volume, nonstop. Punch a few times, shoot for a takedown, miss. Punch, shoot, miss. Punch, shoot, miss. Punch, shoot, miss. Punch, shoot, miss. Eventually, one lands. That's his strategy. And honestly, I don't think Merab is ever going to change that formula. But according to him, according to Merab himself, he said this fight will be 90% striking. I'm planning to strike with Cory Sandhagen. I'm looking to knock him out. I think this fight will be 90% striking. That's what Merab said. Now, why would he go ahead and say that? Huh? I don't buy that. I don't buy it at all. Not even for a second. And it's not just because Merab has built an entire career on takedowns. It's because Cory's ground game is solid. He's not just going to let Merab run wild with a striking approach, even if he wanted to. Okay? And one other aspect, one of the best aspects that Cory Sandhagen has, his biggest weapon outside of his own capabilities is his coach, which is Trevor Wittman. I don't know if you've heard of Trevor Wittman, but that is Cory Sandhagen's striking coaches, and he's one of the best minds in MMA. He's a legend. He has built champions and even pushed the sport forward with innovations. He has pushed the sport forward with innovations in training gear and gloves. He's created his own training gear. He has the best in the biz. And Wittman understands what most fighters do wrong against Merab. They go in with the mindset of avoid the takedowns at all costs. But why? Why do you want to do that? Merab's not going to stop shooting. So why would the goal be avoid the takedowns? You know it's going to happen. You know it's going to continue to happen.
And I don't think a lot of guys do that against a guy like Merab. They go out there and they're just like, hey, don't get taken down. And then when you get taken down, you're on plan B. Yep. Good. Walk to the cage, start fighting the hands. I don't want him taking that. Can we turn it? Can we sweep him? Can we take him down? That mindset is what it takes to be a champion. Way to be stubborn, Cory. Again, we have a fresh guy every round today, so expect this to be brutal, but I love that.
In this camp particularly, I've really dedicated myself to learning all of the aspects deeply, not just being a striker with fancy jiu-jitsu, actually getting super good at wrestling. I could step into the cage with absolutely anyone, and I have all of the tools that I need to beat anyone in the entire world.
And I don't think a lot of guys...
I wish they would stop using the music. I just want to hear the fellers talk. You know, it risks putting my videos on the block list. It risks. And it probably will happen, and I'll have to remove that segment. But we'll see. We'll see. But we saw this same sort of mindset with Dricus against Khamzat. Everybody avoids Khamzat's wrestling, but Dricus said, leading up to the fight, I'm going to wrestle back. Yes, Khamzat will take me down, or he'll try to take me down, and he will take me down multiple times. But guess what? I'm going to shoot on him. See how he likes it. And we all saw how that went. Now, I'm not saying Cory is going to get absolutely mauled the same way that Dricus did against Khamzat. But if the plan really is to wrestle with Merab, it might not work. And the fact that the plan's out in the open makes me wonder why they'd even reveal that, because, well, now Merab knows. At least when Merab said 90% of this fight will be striking, I think that's just a joke. He's throwing people off, and it's pretty clear. But either way, I don't think revealing Cory's strategy actually changes much, even though I said it doesn't really. But at the end of the day, both of these guys can go for quite a while. More specifically, Merab. They both have great gas tanks. I think Merab has a better gas tank than Cory, but they both have nice tanks. Now, I'll be real. I don't think anyone in the UFC has a bigger gas tank than Merab. Anyone. I think if you were to put Merab against anyone in any division simply with the cardio aspect of it, I think he smokes everybody. Whether it's in bantamweight or featherweight or lightweight or heavyweight or flyweight, he's gonna beat everybody cardio-wise. But Cory's the closest thing to it that we can see, at least in that division.
He's beaten a lot of really good guys, so he knows how to beat a bunch of styles. But the ones that he's gotten really popular off are guys that are nothing like me, I don't think. He beat Umar by Umar getting way too tired. I don't get tired. He beat O'Malley because O'Malley is not he was very tentative. He was looking for one shot, and he was slow to get up. So he kind of got out-wrestled a little bit. I don't get out-wrestled. Like, when I get taken down, I pop back up immediately. And I've proven that against Umar, who I think is equal, if not better, of a grappler than Merab is. And he beat Jan, who me and him have completely different styles. So I'm honestly not very intimidated at all about his past wins. I think that I'm a completely different fighter who brings a completely different set of skills to the fight. And Merab's way of winning is getting people tired and wrestling them. And no one's ever beaten me like that. So how's he going to win?
How's he going to win? No one's ever beaten you by making you tired. So how is Merab going to win? How is Merab going to win? Now, we listen to that and we say, oh my God, Cory's onto something. Maybe Cory's right. But it doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't. Now, I'll agree with Cory here. No one's beaten him that way. Cory doesn't gas. He manages distance. He's smart, and he's got one of the best striking coaches in his corner. But even with all that, I'm still not sure he can stop Merab. Merab is just one of those fighters who literally doesn't know how to quit. His skills aren't flashy, but the pressure breaks people. That's what Merab is good at. So where do I land? I'm picking Merab, but I want Cory to win. I'd be the most happiest boy on planet Earth if Cory Sandhagen takes this. But let me ask you, what do you think? Is Cory the guy who can finally crack Merab's pressure game? Or is Merab just too much for anyone at bantamweight? Except for Bryce Mitchell. Except for Bryce Mitchell. We heard Bryce talking. That's a story that we are not even close to getting to. Anyway, we're moving on. We're going to move on to the Prochazka. This is my favorite fighter. If you were to ask me, who is your favorite fighter in the world, if you could choose one fighter out of the entire 500 UFC fighters on the roster, who is your favorite? I would sit there and I would think, because I have done this, and then I would eventually come to the conclusion that Jiri Prochazka is my favorite fighter for a multitude of reasons. Every aspect of this motherfucker makes me happy. I like Jiri. I like Jiri a lot. Now, do you think there's a chance that Jiri Prochazka gets yet another title, another shot at the title, if Alex wins this weekend? If Alex wins this weekend, do you think they're going to bring Jiri back into the mix and go for a trilogy? If Jiri wins as well? I think they will. I honestly think they will. If Ankalaev wins, Yuri's right there in line, assuming he wins as well. Okay, whether Ankalaev wins, whether Alex wins, doesn't matter. If Jiri takes the win, he's the next in line to fight for the title. Or if Khalil wins, but I want Jiri. Now, Jiri has said both times going into his fights with Alex that he believed he was at the level to beat him. But we won't really know until it happens again. But he can keep talking because he has talked the whole time and he hasn't been able to do it. And going into the Jamal fight against Jiri versus Jamal, a lot of people were worried about Yuri's guard being too low. His hands were down and he was leaving himself open to a knockout, which is something Yuri's known for, but he was doing it a lot in the Jamal fight. But what we saw was absolutely impeccable, incredible head movement. It was crazy defense and a clear increase in skill. He clearly has figured something out. He made Jamal look like an amateur in there. Do we not remember this? Think back to that fight. I have it here, actually. Whoops.
Good head movement by Prochazka yet again. Oh! What a combination! He's hurt!
I guess it doesn't show much.
Trying desperately to survive.
Oh yeah,
To his
guys.
feet, but
Kind of. It's hard to see because it's...
oh my goodness! Oh, there's an uppercut. Prochazka, big ground strikes here. That's it. Indeed will do it. Jiri Prochazka.
Punch. I'm for sure gonna get these. This clip is gonna have to be cut out. If there's a clip cut out, you know why. I have this other clip here that I forgot to show.
I know how much you want to get that Alex Pereira fight back. Is it strange walking around seeing each other all week at the field?
And this is something what I already dealt with. Yeah, I especially like you know me. I meditate and all this inner work. So I can't have some attitude like I wanna vendetta. I wanna to go back and I wanna to give him back this loss or whatever. No, and that's not me. I'm totally calm with that, and only one thing I can say. I believe that I'm on the level where I can win till Ankalaev or Pereira.
I know how much you want to get that Alex.
See his see his accent. You kind of get lost in the sauce of what he has to say because his accent, and he's kind of messing it. But you know what he's saying. He's agreeing with me. Whether it's Ankalaev or Alex, he's getting back at that title. So this weekend is for sure the final test to prove whether Jiri truly has leveled up enough to make that third fight with Alex happen. Or Ank. But we gotta hope that Alex takes it, okay? I don't want to live in a world where... What is this? Oh... Right, I had the wrong tab open. I'm so sorry. It was porn. You want to watch some porn, little boy? But you want to know something wild and wacky? Jiri is completely undefeated in the UFC, other than 2 losses. And those 2 losses were to Alex Pereira. If it wasn't for Alex, he'd be undefeated in the UFC. And outside of the UFC, he's only lost 1 fight. And that was back in Rizin, where he was most dominant in, which is a huge, maybe the biggest Japanese MMA promotion. And with this fight coming up, there were some older Jiri highlights that have been floating around the internet again, reminding people just how dominant he's been throughout his career. And I have one of those clips right here, and it is fucking awesome. It is so awesome, dude. Look at the shots this guy is taking. Like, come on. He's just getting Managa. And he comes out of it. Look at that. Wow. Isn't that nice? I like that. That's crazy, right? The amount of shots that man took. And yet he still turned it around and won that Benuga. He doesn't care. Why would he care about that sort of thing? He'll take a few punches. He doesn't mind. But he's just getting older. How many more of those punches can he take? This is smart matchmaking again at its finest. We see this a lot. The matchmakers in the UFC, generally speaking, do a very good job. Okay? Alex versus Magomed is the final fight that moves the division forward. Jiri versus Khalil is essentially the next title eliminator. And Olberg versus Reyes, which we just saw, set the stage for who's next after that. And unfortunately, it won't be Reyes. Trilogy fights don't come around often because they have to make sense. The fighters have to be great, they have to draw attention, and the first 2 fights that they had need to have been either close or impactful enough to justify a third. And sometimes it's just the reality of 2 fighters staying at the top long enough that they have no choice but to run it back again. Apparently I have another thing to show here. Oh yes. Now this was not this was when Alex was fighting last time, I think, and Jiri happened to be, I don't remember. This was not when Jiri was fighting Alex, but they did cross paths. They cross paths a lot. And Jiri loves to take a good gander at Alex. He loves to stare him right in the eyes. But for me personally, I think a trilogy between Jiri and Alex would absolutely be worth it. Doesn't matter how it plays out this weekend. If both guys win, match them up. If both guys lose, match them up. But it has to be one or the other. It can't be like Alex wins, Jiri loses. If Alex wins, Jiri loses, can't match him up. If Jiri wins, Alex loses, we could still match them up, but I think it would be smarter to put Jiri up for the title. I think either way, as long as Jiri wins, he's going for the title. Or Khalil. Because I like Khalil Rountree as well. I don't want to completely dismiss Khalil Rountree because he is, I really like Khalil. In most other situations, I'd be going for Khalil. But I can't go against Jiri. We've seen a trilogy with Alex before, with Izzy. So this would, if Alex wins again and if Jiri wins again, this will be Alex's second trilogy that he's had. Why not do it again? Alex just has that kind of effect on people. He's so skilled. He's so compelling to watch. The opponents feel they need another shot at him because they want to get past his dominance. And if he goes into a trilogy with Jiri, Alex would actually become one of the rare fighters to have 2 trilogies on his resume. But there's the other huge factor, which I haven't even mentioned yet. And honestly, I think this might be the case. After this fight, I don't know if we ever see Alex Pereira at light heavyweight ever again. I think he might be done at light heavyweight. I really think so. And I mean, he even admitted it himself when someone was asking him at a press conference about his weight, and he said, I don't know how long I can cut to 205. I think this is his last light heavyweight fight. I serially do. Gone. I was trying to remember. Gone thinks so. Now about the Jiri versus Khalil fight, I'm seeing a lot of people leaning towards Khalil. And I get it. Khalil's a mofo. He's a good guy. He can fight. I could see Khalil winning, but I'm not voting for Khalil. I don't care. If anyone were to beat Jiri, and I'd be okay with it, it would be either Alex Pereira or Khalil Rountree. So it's not going to be a huge disappointment. Either way, it's going to be a war. There's not going to be a boring fight here. Probably not much groundwork either, if any. Both guys are known for their striking, okay? But who knows? They might surprise us. What if one of them shoots it for a takedown? That might be part of the game plan. They might want to spice things up. I doubt it. But if it happened, that would be a wild moment, wouldn't it? That'd be interesting. It's not what I want. I want chaos. I want it to crash. I want smashing. I want them to absolutely annihilate each other. With these two specifically. And I think that's exactly what we're going to get. How could it go any other way? But then again, I've learned it doesn't really matter what I think. My predictions never play out the way I expected. And if history has taught me anything, I probably just cursed my pick again. Like I do every time. So let me ask you this. If Alex and Jiri both win this weekend, do you think the UFC has to book the trilogy next? Or is it not worth it at all? Say, can you... I also just found out today that Yuri's walkout song is by a band called Sepultura. I had no idea. I love that band. Well, I only know one song by that band, but it's fucking awesome. Anyway, we're going to move on to Alex Pereira. We're going to talk about Alex Pereira for a little bit. And then we're going to do my fight predictions. Okay? Don't be shy, little boy. I loved the year 2024 for the UFC. When it comes to the UFC, I loved 2024. There were so many good moments, but the highlight of the year was the dominance of Alex Poatan Pereira. Oh, I just closed everything. That's nice. God damn it. There we go. We're back now. Look at him. This is when he won the belt originally, I believe. He went back to his tribe and he said, "Hey, fellas, look what I got." And they're like, "What is that? What is that bad juju?" He has to show his family. He came from the jungle, And now he's back. Everything about Alex Pereira is entertaining. Okay? His tribe in Brazil, his walkout, which I cannot wait to see it, his raw knockout power, his catchphrase, the way he can be both silly and dead serious at the same time. Every aspect of Alex Pereira is worth watching. Whoops. I did it again. I closed it. Stop closing my notes, dude. But with just one fight in the UFC, aside from the Izzy era, when he moved past that and dominated in 2024, came into 2025, all that momentum was flushed down the toilet once he fought Ankalaev. Ankalaev changed everything. We went from saying Shama all year, watching Alex save cards, stay active, keep the division alive, to suddenly nothing, radio silence. He opened the year, then poof, he vanished. We haven't seen him at all this year. But that's okay because Alex is back now. He's literally back in a few days, this weekend, this Saturday. And I'm hoping he has improved. I mean, surely he has, right? And if he hasn't, well, there's always heavyweight. And honestly, I'd imagine he'd thrive even more up there. That's where he needs to be. As much as I want him to go against Jiri, I think he'd do great at heavyweight. Are we going to see Ankalaev go for more takedowns this time? I don't know. We know he tried multiple times in the first fight, but Alex defended every one of them, which was impressive, by the way. As boring as that fight was, he impressively stuffed every takedown. I don't care what you think. But Alex is he's a spar master, okay? He loves to spar. Was clips. I have more clips of him sparring. During fight week, he's just out there sparring. Look at him. He's about to fight in a few days, and the guy's out here sparring. That's crazy, isn't it?
6 segundos.
Very nice, Alex. Very nice. And speaking of sparring, Ankalaev's coach claims that Alex lacks speed and power, which is a fucking wild take, but that's what he said. When we watched the embedded vlogs, he was on there, and what did he say? I've got it here. I'm not going to show the clip because it's in a different language, but he said his technique is standard. Actually, I could show the quote. His technique is standard. His strikes are standard. He's an old kickboxer. He has no speed. Alex has a punch, but not the kind that can really knock you out. What are you talking about, guy? That is all false. We've all seen him prove that he can do everything he said he just can't do, over and over again. I mean, I'll agree with you on the fact that he is an old kickboxer. Absolutely, I'll give you that. But outside of that, that's the only thing that statement gets right. But then again, Ankh did beat Alex once, so I don't know. Maybe Ankh just really is that good. No, he's not. Now, there was some speculation the last time Alex fought that he wasn't locked in. He had injuries, multiple injuries, and norovirus. Okay? But also, he was living a life of fame to too much of a high degree, okay? He was going to concerts. He was hanging out with Drake, doing appearances, very close to the fight. And maybe not training as hard as he should have, on top of the injuries and the norovirus. But this time around, there's no Drake. But he's still making some time to have a little fun, because we saw him out and about, being that it is October, doing some spooky haunted house stuff.
Clap for him. Agora, vou dar, chama.
That's funny. That's funny, dude. I wonder how scared that guy in the mask was. I'd be shitting my pants if I came face to face with Alex like that. I'd shit my fucking boxers. There's no way. But he's wearing a mask, so he can't really show his emotion. There's so many different outcomes I could see happening after this fight. Possibly retirement if he loses. But slight. I don't know if he'll retire. That's a very slight chance. I don't think so. But no matter what happens, Alex is going to make some sort of crazy move. And like I said, I think he's going to move up to heavyweight. And if that is the case, by next year, we could potentially see Alex Pereira versus Tom Aspinall at the White House, headlining, which would be unbelievable. That would be so cool. That would be incredible. Of course, okay? Because we've all said it was John Jones versus Pereira. That was the fight to make. That was the one that we needed. And we didn't get it, and we'll probably never get it. But the next best thing is Alex Pereira versus Tomathan Aspinall. So if we can get that, we're golden, baby. So let me ask you a question. Do you think Alex is going straight to heavyweight regardless of the outcome this weekend? Whether or not he loses, is he going up to heavyweight? And if he doesn't, is he going to fight Jiri or Khalil? I don't know. There's too many questions to ask. All right? There's one other thing I want to talk about before we get into my fight predictions, okay? If you guys watched last week's card, Olberg versus Reyes, Jake Matthews fought Neil Magny, and the ref made a shitty-ass call in round 1. Let's watch. The ref stopped the fight a second before the bell rang, called the fight, said that Jake Matthews submitted Neil Magny. He stopped the fight. This is a very quick clip, and it's not really in full context. But then he turned around on his decision, and he said, I was just kidding. We're going to keep the fight going. Okay? Fucked everything up. Everyone's saying that Jake Matthews should appeal, and it turns out he is going to appeal. And here's a little clip of him here.
I didn't register until we're standing up second round, and the ref's like, you ready? And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? I was surprised at what I could do in the second round. Either you were going out, or you faked you out, but you're not allowed to do that. You can't play dead, knowing they're going to stop it and be like, oh, you can't do that. Well, how many times has the cunt been hit, fallen on his ass, the ref stops it and he's fine, but that's the end of it. That's it. I didn't register.
Anyway. Turns out Jake Matthews is going to appeal the decision. So that's great. So hopefully we'll see some shit out of that. Anyway, we're going to jump into my fight predictions here. I have to open up the Photoshop file because I forgot. And I will have to make Little circles. Little circles. Vagines. Little vagines, man. And then we're going to go through my fight predictions. I'm just waiting for Adobe Photoshop to load. I always get so hungry filming these podcasts. So hungry. Okay, here it is. Ta-da! Now, stay with me. Would you please stay with me while I make little circles. I'll show you how to make a circle. Enjoy. This is a circle. Whoops. Actually, let's not do it like that. If you hold shift, you can make a circle perfect. You see? And then I'm going to make it green. We'll do this green. How's that look? Okay. And then we'll shut off the extras, and then we'll go copy, paste, 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 paste. And then we'll go copy and then paste, copy, paste, 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 paste. Then we'll put another one up here. Copy, paste, 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 paste. Alright, and then we'll just get these all over around here like that. Oh yeah. And I know what you're asking yourself. What are the circles? Why are you making circles? Because I'm going to use them to check off my votes. That's why, you silly goose. We're going to go through this whole sheet together. We're going to learn a thing or two about the UFC. Because I am the Mr. Rogers of UFC. Just kidding. Okay, now we're going to zoom in. And we're going to go one by one. Okay, the first fight of the night, we've got Hardy versus Walker. Not familiar with Walker. She is debuting this weekend, I believe. As you can see, the betting odds are crazy stacked in Hardy's favor. So without even talking about anything, I'm just going to go ahead and vote for Hardy right off the bat. Okay, next up, we've got Brahimaj versus Vanderford. All right. Again, not too familiar with Brahimaj. I think I've seen Vanderford before. I don't remember who I actually picked for when I made these decisions, but I think it was Vanderford, so I'm going to do it. I like his neck tattoo. That's the reason why I'm picking him. Okay, next up we've got the Kazakhstani versus the American. But he doesn't look American, but he is apparently. Now, it's not always smart to go for the favorite unless the odds are very much in their favor. These odds are pretty close. Now, I was originally going to go for Puna, but I decided to go for the Kazakhstani because I want to see a Kazakhstani win. That's my only reasoning. Okay? Next up, we got Patchy Mix versus Jacob Wicklax. Okay? So Patchy Mix, we've seen him already. He debuted on UFC 316, 17? Or was it 14? Or was it... I don't know. He debuted this year, regardless. He was a champion in Bellator, I think. Regardless, he lost his debut fight against... Who was it? Mario Bautista? I can't remember. Fuck, dude. There's so many fights to keep track of. Anyway, this Wicklax guy is debuting this weekend. And he is a champion in KSW or some shit. Can't remember. Now, you gotta hope that Patchy Mix can take it back. Can Patchy Mix prove himself? If he loses this fight, there's not many more he can win before he will be cut. Okay? He went from being on the main card of an amazing UFC fight night It was a main number event. And he was on the main card to now being the third fight of the night in the early prelims. But I could see this Wicklax guy taking it. All right? Because they're both still fresh in the UFC. Even though Patchy had his first fight, I don't know. I do want to go for the Polish guy. But I gotta hope that Patchy will take it. Now this next fight, we've got a number 5 ranked women's bantamweight against a not... Oh, she is ranked 10. I thought she was not ranked for some reason. She's ranked 10. Okay? I've seen her before, not too familiar. Not really familiar with the women's class in general, but I'm gonna go for Chasen. I think that's how you say it. All right, next up. This is another fantastic fight you should look out for. The first fight of the night on the prelims. We've got Daniel Santos versus something you. Now this you fella is trained by the Korean Zombie, an OG legend of the sport. And that's why his name is Zombie Jr. And his debut into the UFC, he had a clean first round knockout, very quick into the fight, and he's still undefeated. I want to see this guy go far. Daniel Santos is great. He's also the favorite. He very well could win. But man, let's keep the Zombie Jr. train rolling. Next up, Gutierrez versus Basharat. Now, Basharat is also undefeated. 13-0. Fresh motherfucker. This guy's been in it for a little while. Basharat's also the favorite. And he's from Afghanistan. So you gotta go for him, which that doesn't mean anything. Anyway, next up. Shahbazyan versus Muniz. Okay? Not familiar that much with either of these guys. I thought about it for a while. I went back and forth. They have pretty similar fight records within the UFC, and I decided to go for the Brazilian. The last fight of the night, of the prelims, we've got the Silent Assassin versus One Hit. The Silent Assassin is negative 1100, and I think that has since changed, but this is what the odds were a few days ago. Look at these crazy odds. And I don't even understand why they're that big, but they are, or they were. And so because of that, I'm going to go for Gauter. I don't know if that's how you say his name or not. First fight on the main card. Okay, these are all bangers, okay? Banger, 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 banger. All right, Joe Pyfer versus Magomedov. Now, crazy enough, this Magomedov is not from Russia. He's from Germany. Still pretty good. Am I going to go for him? No, I'm going to go for Joe Pyfer. I want the Pyfe to bring the body bag and put Magomedov in it. Now, next up, we've got Josh Emmett versus, what's his name? Zalal. Okay? We went for Josh Emmett last time. You know, Josh was a big hype train after that crazy KO against Bryce Mitchell. And the win he had prior to that, which I can't remember. He's known for his power. He didn't display it last time. But let's see if he can display it this time. I think he can. He is the underdog, so it might be worth putting some money on him if you think he's going to win. I certainly do, but we'll see. Now, of course, Prochazka versus Rountree. This could go either way. I could see Rountree winning. I want Jiri to win, and Jiri is the favorite and higher ranked. But man, I could see Khalil taking this. You know, I don't want him to. I want to see Khalil succeed, but I don't want to see him succeed against Jiri. Yuri's my man. Sandhagen and Merab. Again, another one of these situations. I want Cory to win more than anything. Do I think he's going to? No. Am I going to vote for Cory? No. But boy, do I want him to win. And again, a lot of people are going against Alex on this one, just based off the performance last time. But I'm voting for Alex. There's not even an ounce of me that wants to vote for Ankalaev. There's not even an ounce of me that wants to vote for Ankalaev. Yeah, he can win, but I don't even want to consider it, so I'm going to go for Alex. And those are my picks. I'll zoom out here. If you want to copy me, go ahead, but I'm usually not that accurate. Well, I'm actually not that bad. I usually get at least 9 correct. Although the Olberg fight, I didn't really do that well. And my rule is for these fight prediction sheets. Remember, these prediction sheets are free. The link is in the bio or in the description. You can get these for free. Print them off. Download them and print them off. Use them for yourself. They're so worth it. They're so fun to use. But the one rule is, once you make your pick, you cannot go back. That is locked in. Do you understand? And that is all I have for this episode of the Dynamite Gizmo Podcast, episode 269. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and click like, go ahead and comment, and please, for the love of God, subscribe. For the love of God, just please, I'm begging you. Bye.